SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Good day, viewers. Good day, wonderful people around the world. You're welcome to SSM Wednesday African Global Updates. Yes, my name is Mark Godwin Iweajunwa, and you are welcome today, the 9th of October 2024. As usual, we have our coordinators, our major correspondents all around. In Lagos, Nigeria is Olayinka Raji. Raji, you're welcome to today's edition of News Echoes. Raji, can you hear me?
Good morning, Mark. Good morning.
Good morning.
I can hear you clearly. Yes.
Good. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the world. Welcome to our Wednesday program.
Welcome,
I'm glad
Raji.
to be here again today.
Yes, it's nice to see you on the other end. So how is it in Lagos this morning? How is Nigeria faring? So many news coming out of there.
Everything is calm. Everything is cool. Now I hope it's not the calm before a storm, but as it is now, all is well.
As it is now, all is well. Good, positive statements.
All is well.
You're welcome, Raji. So today it's the African update. So viewers, you are welcome. This is Schengen Story News Echoes. Schengen Story is a major network, a portal for Africans in the diaspora and Africans back home to also connect, give updates on current affairs as it affects all of us. So we are here again, and it's good to have you. Raji, let's start with something we had this. It was on Monday happened, but the news is still on. 21 passengers missing as two boats collided in Lagos. It says it happened in Amuwo Dofin local government area of Lagos. So what's the situation? Have some of the passengers been found? What is the government doing about that situation? It doesn't sound too good.
Yes, it's a very, very unfortunate accident. My condolences to all those who might have lost people in that accident. What I heard so far was that the captain of the ferry had been, or has probably run away or has been arrested, and the company for which he was working has also been, the GM has been arrested too. But beyond that, I think what could have been the first thing to do was to have been able to prevent that kind of accident ever happening, and then protecting the passengers with life jackets, such that in case such an accident happens, we won't have too many casualties. But I hope the government is learning from it. Now, I hope it's a lesson the government should have learned much earlier. Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's a good one. So we had the two boats collided and capsized right in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the sea. And we also had that there were actually some, lagoon. There were some respondents, some people came to rescue people, but they were only able to rescue 11 passengers who sustained some. So 21 as at now is still missing, 21 people. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what the news says. It's a lot of human beings to lose.
Yes. That's a lot of human beings. Okay, viewers, that's it. Happened on Monday. Amuwo Dolphin local government area of Lagos. Two boats collided in the lagoon, and he had 32 passengers. 21 so far have probably gone down the deep sea, the deep waters, and 11 were rescued. Sad news. So, Raji, keep us updated on that. We had some of those that were rescued were taken to the Naval Town Hospital in Alakija. Is that correct? Alakija. These are the informations we got here in the studio. Is that correct? Alakija Hospital.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Naval Town Hospital. Okay. So let's know what's happening. Let's know who and who, if more people were rescued. But as at now, I don't think you have more people as alive in that collapse. All right, Raji, let's go on to on the Rivers State local government election. We thought after that election, everything would have subsided. There would have been calm, but we keep seeing videos. We still see statements going back and forth. The latest we had is that the court had given a verdict, and that the local government organizing committee should not release the voters register and all that. Raji, what do you have on this story? Fubara, Wike going back and forth, APP winning more of the seats there in Rivers, and somehow APP was supported by the PDP and the PDP governor Fubara, Sim Fubara. So it's a lot. What is the latest on that, Raji? What do you have?
I think it's just the current governor of Rivers State trying to free himself from the talons of a vicious overlord, and I think it has come to a point where Wike should be called to order. I'm sure elders in Rivers are putting their heads together to put him in his place. He had mentioned earlier in an interview that he was not going to be a godfather, and that whenever his tenure was over, he wasn't going to meddle with the affairs of Rivers State governance. However, all that he has been saying, all that he has been doing up to now, has been a lot of meddlesomeness in the affairs of the Rivers State government and trying to still control affairs in the Rivers State. I think the time has come for him to lift his hands off, or maybe his hands will be cut off from the controls of Rivers State.
Raji, thank you. But before we continue, two things. First of all, let's bring in our man, George Chukwu from Toronto, Canada. George, good day to you. You're welcome.
Good morning, Olayinka Raji, and good morning, Massive Mark, and viewers from around the world. Welcome you to our Wednesday, news updates.
Yes. Also,
good morning, Sir George.
We have a viewer somewhere, one part of the world. I think it's a French-speaking part of the world, and he says we should speak in French. So he wants maybe the news got him, the Cameroon news. Cameroon has both English and French, so I think it's a Cameroonian viewer. George, you should also be able to speak French. Canada has French and English.
Canada has French too. Yeah. Anyway, we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe what we might have to do is to find a way so that when we are speaking, it will be translated in French also. That
yes,
would be wonderful.
AI can do that. Maybe we'll incorporate AI into our next broadcast. So please, Derek is the name. Derek Kuama. Derek, we're sorry. We really want to carry along with the updates. We know it's more on the Biya story, but we're sorry we don't have a French translator for now. So what we'll do, Derek, if you can hear the little I'm saying, We're going to translate this afterwards. I think we can do that after this broadcast. I'm going to put a French voice to all we have done. Yes, that can be done. So you can come back in a couple of hours today and hear us speak it, saying French. Okay. So yes, Raji, we were saying something. Middling into politics, and you said something very good. You said the man has a video. Wike has a video of him saying he won't get involved in politics when he's done. I think that video was making reference to his the man before him. That's Rotimi Amechi or something, and he was trying to say Rotimi shouldn't meddle into politics. Now he's repeating the same thing. George, we're still on River State election. We're talking what is happening there, how the election is things are still not calm. Crisis is still rocking River State over the local government election. And people are saying things. We had Dele Momodu say he urges Nigerians to sympathize with Sim Fubara, help add their voice to what is happening, and pray for him. That's Dele Momodu from PDP. George, what do you have on this? Tell us.
Well, first and foremost, the 91, I know you guys talked a little bit about the Cameroonian president, the one that is, have you discussed that at all?
No, we've not discussed that. It's just the topic, the headline.
Okay, beautiful. Anyway, regarding River State, is a very, very sad situation that we're seeing. And from top to bottom, it is so despicable to see. I believe, and I said this last week, that it looks as if, the president of Nigeria is afraid of, the FCT minister, because that's the only thing that you can say. He is the president of the whole entire Nigeria. And there is no way he will appoint this man to be the FCT minister. And this man openly has been meddling what is happening in the River State, and he could not even tell his hackman to stop it. He's not a president of a Yoruba land. He's a president of the whole entire Nigeria. And everything that happens to any state in Nigeria is under his command. For him to sit over there and see this man manipulate situations by, having a judge to, try to stop the local government election in River State, and he knows about all of this because he's not ignorant of it, or else he's not fit to be our president. For him to sit over there and allow this man to continue to mess up the people of River State is so unacceptable, despicable, and it speaks so low of him as a president. Man up, Mr. President, and stop your hackman minister or remove him out of office. Man up. If you're the man that we have, you put yourself in there, therefore you be the man that you're supposed to be, and stop, Mr. Wike from meddling in the River State situation. It speaks so low of you. It's almost like you are afraid of the man. And concerning what is happening right now, the man appeared on Channel TV yesterday and was talking nonsense. He played where he was vowing that he would never do what his predecessor did. And he's there talking about obeying the law. Why he was lying out of his teeth, and everybody knows that he's lying. This is something that I don't even understand. That Nigeria will be there, everybody with their eyes wide open, seeing what is happening. He comes over there and lie. And Mr. President, when he was talking about River State, was mentioning Fubara's name and never mentioned Wike's name. What is going on in Nigeria? Is Wike the president of Nigeria? Is Tinubu afraid of Wike? Please, I want to know. Somebody need to answer that question. Because if Tinubu is the president of Nigeria and executive president of Nigeria, he ought to tell this man, stop it or I will remove you from office. When I'm reshuffling this government, you'll be one of the people to go. What is really happening? It's so, we are here seeing this man, Fubara, begging, almost begging for peace.
You really go ahead. Okay,
So,
go
so
ahead.
I think there's some confusion with my Sir George about the power of the president. The question you asked him was about River State. I don't think you should drag in Tinubu into this matter.
What
Now,
are you talking about?
Tinubu cannot order anybody to do anything because you are giving Tinubu too much powers. Be careful the
Listen to
powers you
me.
give to
Listen
him.
to me. Listen.
You listen to me. Be
River
careful
State.
the powers you give to
Okay.
Tinubu.
Can I say something?
So
Can I ask you a
that he
question?
doesn't become a dictator.
Stop. Let me
Tinubu
finish
has no
asking you a
power
question.
to tell anybody
Can I
not
ask
to
you
do
a
whatever it
question?
is. Now,
Can I ask you a question?
let
Does Tinubu have the power
go.
to remove Minister Wike from office?
Okay.
Yes, he
Gentlemen,
has to go through the
gentlemen,
process.
let's carry our huge viewers, huge number here. Let's carry them along quietly so that they understand what we're saying here this morning. First of all, viewers, let me put some streamline what we are following. Then we can now add our opinions. First of all, there was an election in a local government election in Rivers conducted by not INEC but by RESEC. That's the River State Independent Electoral Commission. Now, what happened was more of the chairmen and councillors came from a party called APP. The APP chairman was also interviewed on this network 2 days prior to that election. He was here with us, Sonny. Now, what is happening is that the court is saying things that does not really align with what is the present situation. The court is saying, first of all, that those results should not be released yet, number one. Meanwhile, Fubara, the governor, has gone ahead to even inaugurate and swearing those local government chairmen. So this is causing a kind of rift between the court, Fubara, and the former governor of the state. He has alleged that Fubara sponsored the APP party. Fubara is PDP and is the present governor of River State, sponsored the APP party to win that very large number of votes from the local government. So this is what we're following. So on this text, gentlemen, let me hear you, Raji, first of all.
Yes.
Do you think that the court should meddle into this after they've had a successful election in River State? And for our viewers, see where River State is in Nigeria. That's the red colored part of the country. It's down rich state where you have more majority of the oil production coming from. Now Rivers has major local governments, about 17 of them or so, and those are those local governments you see in different marks. So Raji, go ahead. Let's hear what you have.
Yes. First and foremost, an election has taken place. Results have been, and the elections were in the main very, very peaceful. All those who boycotted the elections are at their own loss. It's losses to them. If an election happens, a legitimate election happens, and you refuse to contest in part of the elections, you have lost ab initio. Now the election was conducted, the register of voters was available, and we'll go back to this register of voters later because it is very, very important that the register of voters for every state should be available to the state government. And it does not, and the state government does not have to go and beg INEC for the register of voters. Let us be very careful the way we are going, because Nigeria is not a unitary government. Nigeria is a federation, and each of the states is autonomous to a level as enshrined in the Constitution. Therefore, the federal government should be very careful how it meddles in the affairs of the states up to the local government, and that brings us back to this so-called autonomy, local government autonomy. local governments are under states, and whatever happens in every state should be to be left to the state. Local government elections were conducted. Some parties refused to present candidates. The elections was in the main peaceful, and results has been announced, and the winners have been sworn in. We should be careful. We should be careful, because I've been hearing stories about people fomenting trouble.
Yes.
No, let me just go with 2 more sentences. There have been cases of people fomenting trouble in River State, so that they will bring out a state of emergency. That should be avoided. The River State government should be left to handle whatever is happening in the state.
Okay, so your statement also goes to this the man from Abuja that should mind his business in Abuja,
yes,
and leave the state to be on its own. Yes. Okay, George. Yes, George, you were saying something about the federal also getting involved. Let's hear that.
Okay, number one is, when all these things were happening, the Supreme Court just actually said that the election can go on because it's a constitutionally mandated election. And the fact that they formed a new party because there was chaos between the 2 major parties that are existent, APP and PDP, they formed a new party there. As much as right now it's an allegation, it's an alleged that Fubara is part of that party. He's not come out to say so, and we cannot say that he is. Number 2, election went the way it's supposed to. Before the election, somebody tried to manipulate the whole election by stopping the police and all the forces, all the security forces from participating in that election. That's number 2.
Shenanigans.
Another quack, whatever, lower court went and started saying that the election should not hold. When is a month before, this man was given a mandate for 31 days, which was expiring October 31st. If he doesn't do that, if he didn't do the election, then the federal government cannot release any money to the local governments. Therefore, he did what he had to do in order to have his election to take place, in order for them to be able to get the money. But somebody is sitting in Abuja manipulating and pressing buttons and manipulating this whole entire thing. Immediately the forces were left, were not there. The police force was not there. DSS was not there. All the forces were not there because the court now said that they have to withdraw, which was unconstitutional as a matter of fact, because their office is supposed to be bringing peace all over Nigeria, not just where the court says go. Secondly, election went well until the following day. Because of the lack of security forces there, they went and started burning and destroying state infrastructure, the council, the offices where these people are supposed to be. So what are we saying here? What are we saying? Okay, so Tinubu now is no longer the president of Rivers State. Is that right? Therefore, people can go under him and do whatever they want to do, and he'll be sitting there and smiling. Is that right?
Don't bring Tinubu into this. It is a state affair.
What do you mean? He is the president of Nigeria, for goodness sake.
He's not an autocratic president. We are in a federation. Don't give Tinubu power that he doesn't deserve.
So let me ask you a question.
No, that's what he does.
Hold tight. When the minister of FCT threatened the whole entire states, he has the right to do so under the president, and he didn't say nothing.
Okay. Somehow, George,
I think Sir George has a beef with Tinubu. We should not bring it into this discussion.
It's not about beef. Okay, gentlemen, George, Raji is being logical. This case, actually, we shouldn't drag the presidency. We're making reference to him, brings him into this thing, and doesn't concern him in any way. So that's what Raji is trying to say. Funny enough too.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Mike Godwin?
Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Do you think that since this man become the FCT minister, is there anything he's done directly or indirectly that is stepping on the toes of the president by threatening other governors of the state and swearing that nobody can do anything to him? Is that the way it's supposed? One man?
No, it is. It shouldn't be at all. That's why it's good to draw the line. What Raji is trying to say, that's why it's good to draw that line and make them know that what they are doing, if they are doing any of this, what they are doing is creating anarchy in their own governance, in their own government.
Yes.
But they shouldn't. So that's that line we are trying to draw here now. But it's because it's abnormal that they are doing that, but they shouldn't. That's right. That's why.
Yes. And I really hope that what is happening in River State will be a test case for the presidency to ensure that it does not overbearing interfere in state matters, and that by one way or the other, Wike's hands will be cut off.
Okay.
Let's wait. Hopefully,
let's wait.
Yes.
Let's wait. George, we're with you. George, we're with you. If you understand what we're saying, we're in line with you, and we're trying to state the fact that it's abnormal.
And this thing that I just said. I said it last week. I said it last week, right? This week also, listening to the news, I have had more than 3 or 4 stations ask the same question that I'm asking.
Okay.
Listen to me. Ask yourself one question. If this was under Obasanjo, do you think this will be happening? No, question.
Obasanjo was autocratic.
We don't let
Obasanjo was autocratic, and he did so many autocratic, stupid things that receiving.
Listen to me.
All right, gentlemen.
Obasanjo impeached illegal.
Okay, hold on.
5 governors. Obasanjo impeached 5 governors, and is after him.
All right, gentlemen.
Obasanjo taking us an example.
We'll come to
because it's very undemocratic. It's very autocratic.
Yeah, Raji. Let's not go to Obasanjo now. There's so much to talk about. Listen, I have to just say this because
he mentioned Obasanjo.
We have a big number of viewers, and I think it's the Biya story they want to hear. But if you're here to hear that story, stay with us when we come on the second half. But before then, let's talk a little thing before we go on the break. 3 more minutes. There is that Nobel Prize that is being given. Remember the Nobel? That's like one of the highest prize appreciation or achievement award they give to individuals. Now it's just been done, and 2 men were given for their fundamental discovery in the what we have today as AI mechanism. 2 men actually brought out that concept, and studio is trying to
neural networks.
Neural network. Studio is trying to bring their pictures up. So yes, they had that award, that event, and those 2 men were appreciated. They were given the Nobel Prize for what they've done in yes, the studio is bringing it up now. So we have John Hopfield and Geoffrey Hinton. Were able to, they paved the way for this intelligent AI that we use today. And they brought the formula, Hopfield, the one on your right-hand side for the viewers watching, is a professor at Princeton University, and Hinton is a computer scientist, University of Toronto, where George is. So these are the 2 men that paved the way for the AI development. Their work, they say, was fundamental in laying cornerstone of what we experience today as artificial intelligence. So we want to congratulate them. Go ahead, Raji.
With all the congratulations, perhaps we should also note what the professor said, why he had to resign from Google. That we should be very, very careful with this artificial intelligence.
Okay.
We should be very, very careful. The man has the fundamentals. He knows the fundamentals, and he's afraid of the power that could be handed over to AI if human beings ceded that control to AI. we are in
But
very serious trouble.
why do men invent things, initiate invention, and later say, hey, this thing, I remember the man that invented AK-47, that was what he said, that this will go a long way in destroying human being. Now, they've done this, and he's telling us we should be careful.
It's the same with the people, it's the same people who built the first atomic bomb. Almost all of them were very, very sorry for what they did. Almost all of them.
This is why man is still man, is not God. George, what will you say? One of them is from your place.
Yes, John Hopfield, the professor emeritus at Princeton University. The thing is this. What they did was they tried to, use AI to grab information, retain information, and multiply information the way our brains do. And this is exactly what they did with that. But the fear is that people can go beyond where it's supposed to be. And then it will now take over. Because if the information they're grabbing, our minds are limited to the information we receive.
That's correct.
Right? So now, but they are feeding information from all over. And then when they grab all of information from all over, at the press of a button, you ask a question. Now they will give you information from 2020. They give you information 1820, and then begin to bring all these things, accumulate them together. So the fear is that man now will be less, the AI will be more intelligent than man, and eventually will take over. Now listen to this though. Listen to this. We believe, and this is something scientifically, proven. We believe that there will come a time when so many things will be happening. Number one, right now, I go to restaurants, and the people that are bringing me my food is AI generated stuff. They'll bring me my food. When I take if I want to take the wrong one, they say no, that's not yours. And then you take your right one, and they will say thank you, and they will move on to the next person.
That's it.
Now watch. But where we are going, the fear they're talking about will eventually come, and that fear will come. What you call the millennial reign is where these things will be accumulated all together, and it's going to be incredible. But it's not something we can talk about here.
Thank you. We'll be talking more on such issues. Viewers, hang on. We'll come back. We're talking Cameroon president. We're giving other news updates. So we see you on the other side. Thank you.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
This is everything you need to marry a Nigerian girl. Her father gave me a list of 39 items which include a live goat. The first place I went was the bulk food market to gather the yam, palm oil, baskets of fruit, and dried fish known as eja osan. And it's not just one yam or liter of palm oil, I am buying large quantities. It was pouring rain and I rented boots to make it through the mud, but it is worth it to marry my beautiful bride. In Nigeria, they practice dowry for marriage, paid to the family. In the Yoruba culture, each item is symbolic and not really a payment to the family, but rather proving your worth to marry her. And prove it I did by next heading to the goat market, where I spoke with a house of men to find the meatiest goat. This is the one I picked, and surprisingly, the goat at only $40 is one of the cheapest items on the list. This can't be done in one day, so after the rain cleared, I went to Mushin Main Market to find the kola nut, both bitter and regular, the alligator pepper, the adun, which specifically said I needed to buy plenty, and bottle of raw honey, which symbolizes that our marriage will be sweet. Next, I had to gather biscuits, bulk packs of different drinks, wine, and semen schnapps, as well as a suitcase full of new clothes for my fiancé to prove I can provide for her in the marriage. And lastly, the marriage Bible, as God will always come first. It is possible to pay someone to buy these items, but for me, I wanted the experience myself. Finally, we brought all these items to the family home for the wedding day. It is not easy to marry a Yoruba girl, but my bride is strong, smart, loving, beautiful, and completely worth it.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes, George, Raji, viewers, welcome back to our second part of the Wednesday African Update, Africa Update. So we don't just put our focus in Nigeria, it's Africa. We are Africans, wonderful continent, beautiful people, but we need to do more to better our continent. George, Raji, there's something brewing. The news is saying a lot different thing. On ground situation is totally different also. But let me start with Raji. Raji, what do you think is happening to Cameroon and its 91-year-old president, Paul Biya? Paul Biya has been president for about 43 years now.
2 years.
Yes, 43. And he's our second longest serving leader in Africa after the Equatorial Guinea president. Now, for some time now, he's not been seen. Nobody knows his whereabouts, and no press release, nothing. In fact, we have a viewer here with us, James Felix. I told you guys we have so many French people, Cameroonians around with us, so the number of our viewers today is huge. James Felix says the atmosphere in Yaoundé, with military all over the place in the city, says it all. Dictator Paul Biya is no more. Raji, is that true? Do you think he's gone with what we have been hearing since Monday?
Without sounding so morbid, I wish it is true, and it's about time. The Cameroonians require to reset their lives and to live as rational human beings. I'm particularly happy. I'll be particularly happy if it happens, and that if that gives the southern Cameroonian people, the English-speaking part of Cameroon, what they have been fighting for, a separation from the French-speaking Cameroonians. They have been under a lot of pressure. They have been under a lot of oppression. But it's high time. It's high time. Look, the man has been there for 42, 43 years. Most Cameroonians don't even know how life has been, how life was before him. They know all that, and all that they know is the nonsense that has been happening for 42 years of their lives. They need to get their lives back, and I'm sure I'll be happy. There's no condolences to him or his family. I wish that he's dead, and I wish that he's dead and gone to release the Cameroonians from his oppressive rule.
Oh, your words sound too strong, Raji. Let's be sympathetic.
In Yoruba words, they will tell you that he might die a million times. What the hell? Is it the owner of the country?
He's human. George, from Canada, what are you hearing before
we come human.
The thing is this. We have been arguing here. Even Ola and Karaji was in agreement that maybe the kind of democracy will be handed over, is not fit for all the countries in Africa or some of these East Asian countries. But the point is, he is the second president of Cameroon. So since their independence, they have only had two presidents. So these people have been infested with, what you call dictatorial type of rule, authoritarian type of rule, which is not really very good, especially a 91-year-old man who refuses to step down for the younger generation to take over and use their modern mentality and mindset, to bring a lot of prosperity to the country. So I am not of the opinion that he might not be dead, and I hope he's not dead. I hope he's just maybe in London or somewhere there where he's visiting, getting some medical checkup, but with what we just read now, that so many military people are many military people are in Cameroon, saying that the dictator Paul Biya is no longer. So hopefully there might be a takeover of the government. And hopefully, if that is the case, that they will not join Niger Republic and the rest of other French-speaking countries, but they will be able to transit into democracy, for the benefit of the people, because the people are the victims in everything that will happen. Individuals will come up and take over and do all these things they're doing, but at the end of the day, the people are the victims. The citizens are the ones suffering the brunt of all the things that are happening. So I hope he's not dead. I hope he's still alive. But if he is, condolences to the family, because we have been arguing that maybe the kind of democracy that we have might not be fit for all the countries, but these are the people who forced themselves into leadership and stayed there indefinitely until maybe health or situations take over. So that's my own assertion there.
Yes, thank you very much, George. Yours was very direct. But viewers, I know many of you are here. You're concerned, Cameroonians in diaspora, in France, in America,
in the past 12, 15 years, this man has not been.
Okay, let me say what we did our research. We've been following up even up to an hour ago. We've still been calling our correspondent in all of these corners where the issue raises up. What we have is that the Cameroon government, the president is in good health. So every media home is reporting this. They say it's in good health, contrary to information circulating on social media and some other media. Paul Biya has not been seen, though. He has not been seen for a long time since he visited China. I think it's China. He visited a month ago. He has not been seen, but he is in good health. That's what we got. He came as a cable to SSM studio that Paul Biya, Cameroonian president, is in good health. So I think every rumor, everything should lay hold, and let's follow what has come officially. Even if he's passed on, even if he has passed on, we still follow the official statement so that we don't look like we're giving false news or we're giving unverified news. So Paul Biya, what we got from our studio direct from the government house in Cameroon is that he is in good health, contrary to everything that is being said on social media. So yes, go ahead, Raji. Now we can come up with our various opinions. Raji, what were you going to say?
Has Paul Biya ever been in good health? He can't even stand on his own. He can't put on his trousers by himself. He can't stand on his own 2 feet. He's 91 years old, for God's sake. He has not been seen in public in the last 10 years in Cameroon. He has been living in Paris. What the hell? Is he the owner of the country? And there have been so many atrocities committed in his name. So many atrocities. The people of Southern Cameroon are suffering because they are the English-speaking part of Cameroon. They could have been part of Nigeria if they hadn't been oppressed out of Nigeria too by domination by the Eastern region people. And they are seeking for their freedom.
Anyway. The point is,
yes. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let's welcome.
Yes. Before you go ahead, let's bring in our diva from Lagos, Nigeria. Gentlemen, let me tell you the fact. The fact is our number today is on the high side. So I want us to look more into this Cameroon issue because I think our viewers are more Cameroonians that are concerned about their country, the state of their president, and what is happening. But I repeat, for those of you viewers, Cameroonians, Your president is in good health. This is coming direct from the cable we get here in Milan, Italy, Europe. So, but let's continue with bringing in our diva, Bidi Nana from Lagos, Nigeria. Bidi, did you shake hands with Paul Biya this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Our viewers around the world, good morning.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bidi, good morning. Good morning, Bidi. Bidi, can you move your microphone? I want to see your beautiful face because there is a smile on my face. I've been looking at Olayi Karaji for the longest. So now that you're here, I can smile very well.
Can you just imagine?
My Olayi Karaji is more pretty than you. Let's go back to the Cameroonian issue. Yes, listen to this, Raji. Yes, Paul Biya has been frail, been not in too good health for a long period of time, and he's also not been in the public for some time too. He's been traveling around. The last time we saw him was in the China African Summit in Beijing. That was about a month ago, and also. We expected to see him at the United Nations Assembly, the French summit of it.
Assembly,
the Francophone summit part of it, but we didn't. So that's why probably all of these talk is flying. But I mean, let's go with the official cable from the State House that he's in good health, contrary to what the social media is saying. So yes, BD, tell us what's happening. Did you somewhere see Paul Biya walking down your street?
Come again, I didn't get the question.
No. It's just anyway. We're talking about Paul Biya. Our viewers today are more of the Cameroonians in the diaspora, and they are here to know what is happening to their leader, their president, 91-year-old Paul Biya. So what do you have? What's your update on that?
The man is healthy. The man is not dead. He's healthy. The Cameroonian president, the 91-year-old Cameroonian president. I don't know where they get that rumor from, or maybe probably they've been wishing him dead. That's actually what I make out of it. You know, probably they've wanted him to vacate that office. But it doesn't look like the man is ready to leave the office in any time near. So they've now turned to wish that he is dead. So that maybe they felt that his death will be the end of his reign in Cameroon. The man is healthy. He's not dead. He's alive. So Cameroonian, I wish you people all the best.
Well,
the man may be alive, but I don't think he's healthy.
For us. Since we have not seen him in the past month, and this is very unusual, and it's very unusual for him to miss this important, world gatherings, the Francophone gathering and then United Nations General Assembly, so there could be issues where he is. We don't know. We are not wishing him dead, but we cannot say whether he's alive or not. So, what we are saying is, from the government of Cameroon, they say he is healthy, he is alive, nothing is wrong, and that's what we have to go by until any other news comes along. But I'm hoping that he's alive. But I'm also hoping that the military have taken over in order to bring a transitional government into democracy later, because this is too much, as far as I'm concerned. The man is old. He needs to go and rest.
Gentlemen, viewers, our Cameroonian viewers, our followers, listen, we don't do things with emotion. We don't say things out of our own how we feel or because we want to be sensationalizing things. It's not about sensation. It's not about social media. It's about how it is. So what we said earlier, direct. I made a call this morning to Cameroon, and the message is the Cameroonian president is alive. He's healthy and he's okay. So some of our viewers are saying that the madam, that's BD, that she's not speaking with evidence, but she said it as it is. That's the information we have here in our studio. So if it is contrary, then it's not our fault. But what we got from the government house is that he is alive and he's healthy. So please don't run down our coordinators. BD, somebody say you don't have the evidence. Go ahead.
There's a statement from the Cameroonian government, and they say that their president is healthy, he's alive, there's nothing wrong with him. Now, the speculation is coming out because they've not seen him in the public for some time. So people now start assuming that probably he is dead. The statement came out yesterday from the Cameroonian government, and they said that Paul Biya is healthy and alive. There's nothing wrong with him because after attending the China African Forum in Beijing in early September, he has not been in the public face. So I think that was actually what made up this speculation and rumor. But he is alive. There is nothing to speculate. He's alive. He's coming from the presidency, Cameroonian president. It's a statement they made yesterday.
We can only say, excuse me, we can only say the statement reads that he's alive. We cannot say he's alive. We cannot.
No, you
cannot
say that.
No, excuse me. You have to put, if you say, no, if you have seen him alive, then you can say he's alive.
Yes.
Unless you see him, you cannot say that. Just say that the statement we received, excuse me, the statement we received is that he is alive. So we are reporting that the statement says he's alive. You cannot say that.
Yes.
Unless
that's better said. As a journalist, you don't, like I just said earlier, we don't censor. You don't do things out of your own impulse and how you feel or what you think. You do with facts. So the statement sent to the network says he's alive. But we cannot say he's alive. We've not seen him. We don't know anything about his whereabouts. But the statement sent out officially to this network is that he's alive. So that's just what it is. So let's not.
In this situation, our opinion doesn't count. The government said he's alive, and he's alive.
That's what we're saying.
That's
what
so let's go on.
Whatever thing we think is irrelevant. The government said he's alive, then he's alive.
Let us move on.
Until they said otherwise.
All right. So, viewers, you've heard it. Yes. We've deliberated on that. Paul Biya is alive. Authorities are claiming that people should dismiss widespread speculation about his health, that he's okay. Okay, viewers, thank you. George, BD, everybody, thank you also for putting your own part of it. Let's move on to some other story that will crop up what we're doing. One of it is that Brazil has lifted the ban on X, former Twitter. X has been lifted up in Brazil. The ban was, they blocked X a month ago over some misinformation, and that's what we're trying to stop here in our studio, giving out information that are accurate and official. So they blocked X in Brazil, that X was spreading some misinformation among the public, but yesterday X has been, the ban has been lifted. George, what will you say about that? I think there should be control, sensitization with media outlets.
Yeah, there should be a level of control. I know that somebody posted something, that the what we call misinformation is the one they don't like. But But okay, if my right is infringing on your right, then we ought to have a sense of control into that, because I can't just come up just like start allowing people to say all kinds of nonsense that doesn't have any facts to it, and people will buy it who just take it verbatim like that. Yes. So now the point is this, there ought to be a level of control. You cannot do that because a lot of people have died privately because of information that is brought out falsely. Some people cannot handle it and they kill themselves. So we have to be very sensitive. Every media group, and WhatsApp, X, whatever, Truth Social, there should be a level of control of facts being brought out, not people making up stories and bringing it out there and hurting other people. So, you know,
yes. In fact, in Nigeria, there's one going on between Burna Boy and one young man, some allegations that were false, and now it is escalating. But let's not go to that. Let's round up our news today. The network has given us 10 minutes because we went in with the Biya thing. The CBN governor is floating the naira, and he's giving reason for floating the naira. He says it's inevitable so that he can restore market trust and combat speculation. Gentlemen, we know what floating naira is. When you float naira, the money in economy, it means duplicating that money in a way that from the time of deposit to the time recipients receive their money, there's some deduction that is done also. So CBN is doing this in a larger scale for the government, and they say they have to do it. Amongst that talk also, some people have said that Otedola, Michael Otedola in the UK, Nigerian billionaire, said the CBN bank spends $500 million on private jets, and now they are floating the naira. Some other persons came, Aluko Dangote also says that they are spending the proceeds from our oil in advance. So, gentlemen, let's talk about finance, banking. Is CBN taking the right step, floating the naira?
Well, okay. Let me just start from here. You see, what we have seen with the government is, from the inception of this government, they have taken action without actually studying the situation to know whether it is fit for our nation and where we are right at this moment. So immediately the government took over at the inauguration. Subsidy is gone. There was no study done. Nothing was done to look into the situation, to know where we are and how to implement a necessary system to know the effects on the people. Because you can do a good thing, if you do it at the wrong time, it becomes wrong. And that's what we have seen. And all in the name of trying to fix the economy. You know, Cardoso came out and wanted to flood the naira. Right after everything that happened, what I think should have been done with the CBN was they should have done a study. Number one, the effect on the people, the recoloring of the naira, the changing of the naira, you know, the combination of the old and the new. See where people have suffered. How do we now implement this floating of naira? Should we do it systematically, or should we do it right away? So because these are the things the present government does not do, and we have seen it happen again and again and again. The only particular ministry that I can put my hands up and praise God for is the aviation minister. He's done a fantastic job. He's very progressive, and he has done a systematic progressive move in aviation that has affected Nigeria positively. The rest is just like, Brazil is doing something, or Singapore is doing something. This is the way they did it. But you do not know and study the lifestyle of the people or what they have gone through, whether we can just put this thing, systematically or progressively in order to come to that point where you're now doing it. So what they're doing now is giving excuses. We know that the people are suffering. Well, did you consider that at the beginning? So these are the things we need to really study in Nigeria before we implement, solutions that we think that is necessary.
George, good talk there, good talk. Now let me help you, George. When Cardoso was appointed CBN director, boss, I did a background check on him. I mean because that position, the CBN boss, should be a well-articulated personnel. Now, Cardoso hasn't done too right in his previous responsibilities. Raji, I don't know if you agree with me. Citibank didn't do too good under Cardoso. Cardoso has not had so many good merits under his portfolio. So I don't know why he was now chosen to become the CBN director, and now doing some clueless. Yes, I use the word clueless. Some clueless economic policies.
Before Olayinka Raji comes in, can I ask you what's his last name?
Olayemi Cardoso.
Thank you.
Cardoso is his last name.
Your question. That answers your question. That's
okay.
It.
Yeah, Yinka, Raji, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? What I said?
Yes.
Because some time ago you didn't agree with me. Go ahead.
No sane government floats its currency without a serious and a very good foundation. You cannot float your currency because your currency shows the power of that nation. No country, no sane government, no serious government will float its currency, because the moment you float your currency, your country becomes like vapor. I was in Ghana for some time. If you see, even Benin Republic and Togo Republic are laughing at Nigeria. They refuse to accept Nigerian naira because our currency is now worthless. And so, by extrapolation, is our country. No serious government will float its currency.
Okay, no serious
and therefore,
government.
Whatever they are doing is detrimental to the government,
economy.
to the people, to the people.
Yeah, so I did something. Like I said earlier, I do background check on people that hold offices, strong offices for that matter, in Nigeria. And really, that man, to me, I don't see much, even though he schooled abroad. He went to some of these big schools here. But BD, before we even come to the floating currency, the personnel, the man sitting at the helms of affair should be checked. I mean, you've not done too good in other aspects. How come you come to handle our economy?
Is
BD, what is your
position? Is it if Nigeria is a country where industries, where we have system, where we have a working system, Cardoso wouldn't have done what he just did. And he came out to tell Nigeria that he took a bold step. He took a bold step to float Nigerian government. And his reason, he said he wants to bring exchange rates close to the reality of on ground. Now, looking at what he has done over the months that he has assumed office as CBN governor, what has he done? He has messed up Nigerian economy. He has messed up Nigerian currency. Because I don't think there's any right-thinking country will find Nigeria in the state at which we were when Buhari left office, will agree that the only way they can get a way out of already problem they are into is to float their naira. But what did they do? They did it. They floated naira. And you remember when they did this thing, initially they were lying. They said no, they did not float this naira. If you are aware, they lied when they floated this naira initially. Now he has come out to tell us they floated this naira. It shows you that what these people are doing is just trial and error.
That's
because
it.
Even when he decided to float this naira, he did not even know what it's going to become. They floated the naira and they mess up all the systems. And that is what Nigerians are suffering now.
That is what Nigerians...
Can I add something to what Billy is saying?
He said he took a bold step. I hope he would secondly took another bold step backwards to refuse what he has messed up.
You see, one of the major problems we have with CBN is it's not an independent institution. The presidents have actually, gotten so involved in the CBN, and part of the reason is because the president usually they have acquired this system where the president is also the oil minister, and that is how they control everything that is really going on. But it's not supposed to be. CBN is supposed to be an independent institution, not part of influence from the government. Yes. So that make decision that will affect the economy efficiently and effectively without any interruption from the from the office of the presidency.
And then when you make a banker the governor of the central bank, it is something that will surely tell you that the country will go down. We need somebody who is not a banker, but who knows fiscal policies, monetary and fiscal policies to regulate central banking, not a banker.
Wow, good one, Raji. That sounds real intelligent. On top of this, gentlemen, in August, 2 months ago, somebody blew a whistle, and he has that power too. That's the Mike Otedola. He said the bank, that the CBN is spending so much money on private jets and all that, servicing those private jets and da. So he was putting out some information we probably didn't even know. Now, yesterday also, Dangote opened up a lead and said, so far, our oil proceeds have been eaten in advance. And all of this is coming also from the wrong decisions CBN is making. Wrong decisions Olayemi Kadoso is making. Gentlemen, this sounds real good. I'm happy you all agree with us. We're on one voice on this. So let's anybody want to
this? You see, I've been crying out on this place where they have mortgaged our country. Most of these things that you see, the backdoor type of drilling oil, is to take care of some of these things that they have been doing. They borrow ahead of time, and they have mortgaged the future generations, selling oil in advance and spending that money, and then also using the backdoor type of drilling to pay some of the money that they have borrowed. These are the things that we are seeing. Everybody is there. We don't want to say anything. Nobody's crying out. We cry out and then we close our doors and mourn inside the houses. I am telling you, for the past 9.5 years, Nigeria have actually borrowed so much money, and they're still borrowing, servant to the lenders. Because when they dictate and they squeeze you, you have to answer. And that is exactly the problem. We need to be careful. We need to bring a lot of economic think tanks, the financiers, people that understand world economy, so that when they say, the World Bank is giving us advice on what to do without understanding our situation in the country and the way we live our lives, somebody will need to say, oh, stop. This cannot feed us right now. We can't do it right now because it will not go well with us. But what they do is because they borrow you money. They borrow you money. So you being a servant to the lender, they will tell you what to do. And if you don't do it, they can then squeeze you. So that's exactly what is happening with our country right now.
On this note, gentlemen.
Sorry, Mark, please let me just make this point. Do you know that during Abacha's time, there was a National Intelligent Economic Committee that was set up? After Abacha, that body was disbanded, and our economy has never been stable thereafter. During Abacha's time.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, on this note, we want to call it quit. Thank you all for coming. George, awesome. Taking your time, waking up early morning to be here. It's highly appreciated. Raji, awesome. Yes. Thank you for coming through. Our one and only beautiful diva is smart.
Yes, that's the one that brightens the day when she shows up.
Yeah. And because our program is coming up, BD, 1 minute. Tell us again what's happening with the summit. Go ahead. Oh dear.
Okay. I have to.
Yes. All right, guys. Till we come again. Bye-bye.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.